Oh my god, I unmuted the wrong thing. Well, anyways, now we're here. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back, everybody. We're here for the... Oh no, I didn't set the privacy settings either. Not like this. Oh my goodness. This is a great start. This is an excellent start. Why is this... Where is this thing? Why is this always unchecked? Anyways. We have an excellent start to the RSL Korea qualifiers as we are getting on in to our first game. Here we go. We have got Creator on the bottom left-hand side playing against Droptimus as the Red Terran over on the top right. We got our first round matches for right now, which is going to just be a couple of simpler matches since most of the higher seeds are playing against the lower seeds. So we're going to hop in and just check out a little bit of a... I don't know, a little bit of a lower seed match overall. We'll see this. See if Droptimus can bring anything to Creator in this first game, which is going to be against a proxied gateway as well, a second gateway, mind you. So that is going to be some interesting early aggression coming out of Creator. Creator also wanting to try and end this game a little bit early, thinking that he's probably just straight up better than his opponent and is gonna just try to just kill him as quickly as possible, basically. Honestly, not too unexpected. A lot of the pros, when they get placed against lower MMR players, or maybe even players that they don't really know very much, they will just kind of try to skill check you every now and then with some of these builds. I have experienced this many times when I play in a lot of these open cups and qualifiers over the years, especially living in Korea now. I get to, basically... The only ones that I get to play in the time zone basically are against all the Korean pros, like the KSL and stuff like that. So I just get bodied by Creator, Classic, Gumiho, and they just do the most unhinged random builds you have ever seen. And so yeah, we're going to be doing that type of stuff here from Creator. And we've already got the first Stalker already meeting its Reaper on the other side. Droptimus, of course, very unaware that this is happening, but maybe just scouted the lack of an expansion and whatnot. And might have been able to figure this out, but it doesn't seem like they are prepared because there's no bunker already prepared. SCVs, 3 of them already dead. Zealot gonna find its way over as well. And the second Stalker. The third Stalker right behind it. We're just gonna get right into the base here as Creator, and this is going to be... Well, maybe this is going to be one of the quickest games we've ever seen today. Oh, the nade! Oh, the Reaper grenade to bounce the Stalker into the SCV surround. Pretty sick, to be honest. We'll be able to get one of those Stalkers. But that is just step 1 of what this defense needed to be. And unfortunately, the other steps will not be happening, to say the least. That's a bit unfortunate. Trying to get this bunker up as Droptimus is not really gonna... It's not really gonna go. And that's gonna be a GG. Creator will swiftly take game number 1 faster than it even took me to get into the lobby, I feel like. Oh my god, I joined the lobby faster than the opponent did. Yeah, we've got an excellent bracket today. It's going to be lots of great matches, hopefully. We've got, in fact, Maru joining the bracket as well. Absent from the first RSL season, but he is actually now here for RSL Season 2, which is pretty cool to see. Yeah, we'll be seeing a little bit of Maru in this little bracket here. Assuming that he doesn't just get knocked out before the semis, but I feel like he is absolutely favored versus either Lemon or Nice, so I don't think we'll be worried too much about not seeing him. Along with him, though, we got Nightmare, we got Young, we've got Zaun, we've got Percival, Creator, of course, we got Cyan, and some other players as well, so some pretty high-tier players in this Korean qualifier. So yeah, top left-hand side, once again, Creator, of course. Bottom right is Droptimus. We'll see if Droptimus gets a little, hopefully a little bit more aware of what's happening from Creator's side, so that way they don't just fall flat on their face yet again. Because that would, of course, be ill-advised, generally. We're just doing this one solo cast today as well, by the way. I was going to have State join us as well, just like last time. However, he is actually living and enjoying his wonderful life over in Jeju this weekend. So he is not available whatsoever. So, yeah. It's just me this time. And we have a double proxied barracks coming out of Droptimus. A singular gas means it's likely going to be some proxy marauder. Creator into the base. We'll be able to scout this pretty easily as well. We'll see that there's only one gas mining right here. See absolutely nothing. We'll sit around for just a little bit just to make sure that the barracks is not maybe in the natural or something like that. Actually just goes ahead and runs back on home. Maybe he's just so so confident what this actually is and just like, nah, I'm just going to defend this. I know exactly what's happening. Does scout around a little bit, but does just drop a Nexus after a singular Zealot as well. A little bit of a bold move, but I'm not too surprised that Creator just kind of thinks he can outskill his opponent with the defense. It is still possible to defend, of course, if you just spam batteries, get enough stalkers out. You will be able to defend against this with good micro. And so Creator definitely believing in his micro, I imagine, in this game. Interestingly, we've got a bunker on the back end in our main base for Droptimus. He's not really going to have anything to put in that bunker, but I guess just leaving that there. Obviously, just walling this off is nice because you want to not die to a Zealot run by or something like that. But the bunker is, I feel like, going to be a little bit useless. I think a third supply depot is going to be more important, considering the fact that we're going to need that anyways. So might as well just do the triple supply depot wall. But we're coming on in with a couple of Marauders and a couple of SCVs. First, with the Zealot for Creator, going to be tanking a lot of that SCV damage. Even gets a kill immediately. Just now sees that this is going to be Marauders. And we do already have one battery set up for Creator. And honestly, this is just getting bopped out of existence already. Feel like Droptimus maybe should have waited for the extra 2 Marauders, since 4 Marauders is far more threatening than just 2. But already giving his hand. A third barracks also getting thrown down somewhere. It looks like in the main base. As it seems like Droptimus might be expecting this to be already held.
I love Gemini.
And yeah, there was that supply depot also taking a long time. We have to even use... Oh no, he uses the supply drop as well to free up that supply. As you can see, this bunker is proving to be a little bit useless, as they do say. This battery energy is just... I mean, the battery is just perfectly placed, and the fights that Creator is taking are perfectly in range of all of these batteries. Literally 0 damage getting done to any of these units, while Droptimus's Marauders are getting completely manhandled. And that'll be a very swift defense of this Proxy Marauder build. Has he lost a single unit? He might have lost a probe. Yes, he did lose a probe. And there's the GG. Droptimus realizing he's a bit outclassed, and Creator will take a swift 2-0 in the first series. So yeah, that's about what you can expect, to be honest. I'm just going to hop into Zound's next game here, since the lobby was posted. Oh, everyone's in this one. And by everyone, I mean, actually, only the Koreans, so that's okay. At least I can talk in English, so that's also cool. But it also is a PvZ, and there's very few Zergs signed up for this qualifier, so at least we'll be able to see a Zerg player play, so that's also cool. Excellent. as I ask for the score, because I don't know what scored. 1-0 Zown. I am so surprised. Bottom left-hand side, playing for yield vitality. And onside. It is Zown. And on the top right-hand side, still sporting the Team NV clan tag. Wow, that is a throwback. It is Inca. Playing Zerg. A race that we see very seldom now in these online cups and qualifiers. So it's nice to be able to at least see that coming in here as well. Ultra love, great map, love it. We'll see what Zound has cooked in for this one. Or if Inca was going to be doing something kind of crazy. I feel like I've definitely played against Inca before on ladder, I feel like, but I cannot for the life of me remember what type of a player they are. So I could not really tell you if they are going to be doing some sort of early Ling floods or whatever. Or if it's going to be just an attempted solid macro. Generally, I feel like whenever I play these matches against, like, pro players that are just straight up better than me, I feel like I just kind of want to use it as like a benchmark game where I can just play a normal game and just see what happens. Just to be like, well, I'm going to lose 100%. Sure, I could do some absolute degenerate build to try to catch them off guard and snag a free win. Or I could just play what I always play and use it as a great opportunity to find all of the holes and little weaknesses that pro players are able to abuse in my standard build. And that also goes generally terribly for me. I lose very quickly a lot of the times. But it is a cool little thing to experience, of course. And every now and then, if I play someone more than once in a couple of these online cups, I will just, you know, I will just bring out the unhinged shit. One expects to learn how the opponent can approach one's build. Oh, yeah, exactly. No, dude, I swear to God, yeah. The amount of times that I've played a build that I've played a million times before against a pro, and then I'm instantly getting supply blocked where I would never get supply blocked, or I just miss a, I miss a block on Adept Shades walking into my nap by, like, you know, half a second because I'm 5 minerals short. And I'm just like, oh, well, alright, that was cool. I thought I thought I was going to test something interesting here, but instead it's just one of the unluckiest games of all time that never happens in any of my other games. So that's always fun as well. I've had that happen multiple times in the PvP as well, which is just like, it's 5 seconds, it's 5 minerals too short, and you're like, all right, that's it. Or you just like forget to cancel the shield battery or something, like just dumb like that, and then it just totally messes you up, and then everything falls apart from there, and you're just like, okay. It's always something like that. Zound's going to try to go for some Stasis Wards onto the Mineral Lines, having already been deflected by the initial Queens and Spores, but nothing to be done. Inca well on top of that, so that's all cool. We'll be just playing completely normally, it looks like, from Inca's perspective. Doesn't want to do anything crazy early. We'll be going even for the fast Evo Chamber like normal. We'll see if he goes for +1 melee or range. I would kind of expect him to go melee, and I was gonna say this too. I love going Starglaives on this map. This map screams Starglaives to me for no real reason, and I don't know why, but I love going Starglaives on this map. Double Oracle will find its way into the main base. Unfortunate. Oh my god, I can't believe that got away. It was for sure one more Spore hit was going to get connected there into that Oracle, but that is a nice amount of drone damage. 4 drones. It's pretty decent. But yeah, I don't know what it is about this map, but I love Starglaives on this map. It just feels correct. It feels good. I'm generally able to get so much damage with it. And that's exactly what Zound's going to be doing as well. He's coming in quite early, though. He's going in before Glaives is even close to done. But it will be completely catching Inca off guard, not expecting all these adepts to just send themselves across the map, despite the fact that he did see them pretty early on, and it looks like Sound's actually just going to save them and wait for the glaive upgrade to finish, which is also very interesting.
Fuck you, Gemini.
TTS test.
Thank you very much, Twitch viewer, for your 33 or 31 months worth of subscriptions. Alright, now we're just going to use the Glaive Adepts here as Zound to clear out a lot of this creep, just do what they can. This is actually a full wall as well, as the Spore Crawlers here. It doesn't look like a wall, but it actually is, so that's actually really obnoxious. All these queens could actually just die. We're going to just target down the Spore Crawler as Zound either way and just shade into the main base here. All the extra lings will start to flood in, try to get a surround, but all of them are getting absolutely annihilated, and the drone's about to get killed off as well. That's a quick GG. Zound with a 2-0 over Inca. Very nice. Alright, everyone's going to go flock to the Maru Lemon series, so I am not going to go there. We will catch Maru in the semifinals, most likely. Although Lemon actually has beaten Maru before. So that's always technically possible. But I will hedge my bets on Maru making it past that series. And I will go ahead and join Zound Percival as our next match. Yes, Maru did in fact sign up for this qualifier. He is indeed in it. He wants to play in the RSL Season 2. Which is very exciting. Oops, I did not change this. Whatever, that's fine. Alright. Oops. Oops. Now this is Percival. Cool. Got a new webcam set up here. Still feels like it's a little... Oh, that's better. That's a little better. I remembered that I got a tripod for Christmas that also my webcam can... I got it from my camera, my like actual camera, to like take pictures and stuff. But I realized that my webcam can actually screw into it as well and give a slightly better angle and not to be always getting shaken when my monitor shakes. I kind of like it. Bop bop. Where would you rank Clem's Protoss? It's a great question. I don't know. It's kind of hard because you don't really see it as much. Obviously, his PVT is incredible. But he doesn't use it to play anything else other than PVT. So it's like it's always going to look inflated because he's not playing PVC. He's not playing PvP. But like, so I'm basically just ranking only his. I'm only ranking his PVT compared to every other Protoss. I mean, I guess I could just compare his PVT to other Protoss's PVT. In which case, I consider it to be extremely high. I would say it's honestly top 3. His bottom left-hand side is going to be Zound yet again, going against a slightly more difficult opponent in Percival on the top right-hand side. The Korean Wonder Boy, who has qualified for GSL a number of times and some other tournaments and whatnot, but still has yet to maybe make any gigantic breakthrough. maybe RSL Season 2 could be the opportunity. Am I casting Mara today? Yes, assuming that he gets into the semifinals. I'm assuming that he's going to be beating Lemon in this match that he's playing against, that he's playing right now on one of the other streams. And so we will be catching him for the semifinals, which is a qualifying match. I should call that. I should call it that. I should not call it the semifinals because there's no finals. I should just call it the qualifying match. Ladder MMR is indicative. I mean, yes and no. I mean, ladder MMR is only. I mean, ladder is ladder. It's not always the most indicative of everything. There's been times where certain players are certain MMRs on the ladder and then they don't actually go very far in tournaments, so it only means a small amount. But yeah, I would still consider his PVT to be, honestly, like top 3, top 5 at the absolute least caliber. Alright, we're going to be going for a Sentry Opener here with a proxied Starport from Percival. Kind of cute. I kind of like that. Going to be going for Hellions as well. Likely going to be a Hellion drop opener then. Could be Hellion drop into Liberator or something like that as well, which could be very good. Or you can go the full-on degen mode and go proxy Hellion drop into proxy Cloaked Banshee. And we'll be getting this Hallucinated Phoenix coming on in. And this should be seeing a glaring lack of a Starport as well from Zaun. And I feel like Zaun, of all players, should be able to put the pieces together. It would be so great if he could go just okay, yeah, good. See that there's a second barracks being made without anything else to accompany it. Like, this just feels obviously like something is missing. And is Zaun going to send this? It's going to send it right back down the middle again as well, so potentially going to be catching for the Hellions walking by. Doesn't quite see it, as it will be going into that medevac. I'm actually very surprised that Zaun is not preparing for this, seeing no Starport. He didn't see the extra 2 and 3 racks super early either, which is usually what you would expect sometimes if you see no Starport, but it's just going to be the Hellions dropping into the main base, probes bunching up to try and defend. Luckily, there is a battery here, so that's going to help a little bit, but oh my god, those splash lines are ridiculous. 7 probes already getting killed with the Hellions still alive. Won't go fully into the natural, as that is a bit risky with all these Stalkers already warped in here. We'll try to just get a couple more in the main, actually, as the the cooldown for the, whatever you call it, the boost is back online. But yeah, 7 probes is quite nice. It's not super game-ending damage, but it is acceptable it's acceptable. That's what I was trying to say. I did not want to add anything else to that sentence. It is acceptable damage. Especially considering the fact that Zaun didn't expect it. Third base is going to be coming down shortly here as well. Not surprised by this. Percival, obviously, going to have a little bit of a building up phase after this proxy. Can't just immediately go into this any kind of follow-up attack after the drop. Of course, there's going to be some time where he needs to get stim, he needs to get combat shield, he needs to get some more units out. So getting this third base down immediately afterwards is the correct play by Zaun. He's got plenty of time to do so, getting some extra gateways as well. Blink should be finished at this point. Yep, we'll see how quickly he goes into charge after that, because obviously that is one of the most important upgrades, and there it does go. So we'll be getting that for the follow-up tank push that should be hitting in the next few minutes from Percival. The other question, of course, is Percival going to pull the SCVs, or if he's going to go super heavy? And there's the double extra rack. So it will be the 5 racks on 2 bases, so we will be getting basically an all-in. It's not always all-in. You could always kind of make a very late third after it, but it's essentially an all-in build. Zaun unaware of this just yet, as of course the Observer doesn't want to dive too deep and get lost. You want to keep that alive for as long as possible. But there will be some extra alterations that are going to be needed from Zaun here to be able to defend against this. We'll need to make sure he knows exactly how many units are coming out. We'll need to eventually cut his probe count. I mean, he's already actually pretty high on it. I would honestly just like to see him stop once he's at 60. And now here comes the first move out. Scan going forward to try and kill off the observer. Will be able to get it just barely. That would have been awful if he didn't actually kill that. Obviously would have wasted a scan, and also would mean that the observer is still around to be able to see everything. Yeah, the probes have been cut at this point. Robo Bay getting dropped in the middle of this. I'm not quite sure. And there is the SCV pull as well. I don't know if Zaun has what he needs to defend against. This is a very large army. Huge Stalker count as well. It would have been nice if we could have had some force fields onto the ramp to delay this push a little bit more. But now the tanks able to siege directly in range and get a nice volley on top of the entire Protoss army. Third base forced to evacuate. Will be able to kill that off extremely quickly. Robobase still not even done to try and make any Colossi at this point as the bio and tanks continue to just move forward. Another massive volley onto the Stalkers. This is looking atrocious for Zaun as he's losing absolutely everything, forcing himself to pull the probes into a meat grinder of a Terran army, and that is going to be... Hold up, wait a minute. Sick flank with the Zealots out of absolutely nowhere with a nice force field as well, but that is not going to be nearly enough. Percival with a little upset in game number 1. Zaun not quite identifying either of the two things that was happening in this game. Did not realize that there was a proxied starport for a proxy Hellion drop. Did not know that there were going to be extra barracks coming out for a fast 2-base SCV pull either. Completely caught with his pants down, trying to go quickly into the +1 attack, and then also dropping down the Robo Bay right when the push was walking across the map. Leaves him with very few units. I'm actually very curious as well how that goes. If Zaun is a little bit more positioned on the third base as well, so that we can get the force fields on the ramp.
I love Gemini, you know?
Because Percival really did just YOLO his way up there. Like, he just yeeted himself directly onto the high ground. I would have loved to see a couple force fields try and split that army up and at least slow the progression. It would have 100% given him at least 1, potentially 2 extra warp-in rounds to be able to deal with the attack. And at that point, that's when it starts to get a little bit scary for the Terran, because you're fully pulling SCVs. You need the damage to be done very quickly. You're trying to go for a very burst damage heavy attack. And if the Protoss is able to buy even just a little bit more time to get 1, 2 extra warp-in rounds, then you are you're on a bit of a clock. As the English speaker fails to speak English. And we have on the top left-hand side playing a game down. It is Zaun and also his opponent proxying double barracks. Where have we seen this before? On the other side of the map. It's going to be a double proxy Marauder from Percival.
I love Gemini, you know?
Percival is, just Terrans in general are really enjoying these proxied Marauders in game 2s. I feel like we've been seeing this a lot in some of the other series throughout the different tournaments as well. And yeah, Percival is going to try to whip it out here as well. We'll see what Zaun's response is going to be, if it's going to be any different from Creator's. And of course, Creator was playing against someone much lower skill than him. And so that obviously skews it a little bit in how easily he defended that build. But now we get to see what exactly Zaun's got prepared against Percival. A much better opponent. Will be able to execute this build to its highest extent. Zaun going to be going for this expansion as well into the Zealot. And we'll be just chronoing that out with the Stalkers and eventual shield batteries. So once again, going to try to just spam out Stalkers, spam out shield batteries as much as possible to try and defend this on the low ground. I did see as well in the... Actually, I'll talk about that later. As we do have the barracks, or sorry, the bunker already getting placed down in the natural, trying to get that down here before the Stalker is finished. A couple more batteries going to get thrown down here as well from Zaun, as the Stalker will start to join. I like the probe at the natural as well. I would like it if Zaun actually brought a few more probes down. I feel like the Zealot, especially going so far away from the battery, just barely gets healed up in time. I feel like it was about to get killed off, so that would have left him with absolutely zero tanking, but just barely keeping that alive means that Percival will actually cancel the bunker, losing the SCVs. So now we'll just be solely on the Marauders to try and break through this defense. And at this point, you actually don't want to go too gun-ho with the Marauders, because if you just... Oh, wow, okay, we're just going to get a huge SCV pool with this. That's not what I was anticipating. But what I was going to say is if... There's like two phases to this. There's the initial attack, which can maybe catch them off guard, but then after that, it's once you can get enough Marauders to one-shot, and that's when you just suddenly start to actually bulldoze through. And now with the SCVs here, that's going to make it even more deadly as Pro's forced to pull from Zound as well to help defend against this. Nice micro so far with the SCVs to body block as much as possible. The Stalkers staying in range of the Marauders as well, meaning the Marauders can just focus those down with ease, as the SCVs also taking a lot of the damage. We'll need to see Percival, yeah, get on top of these Stalkers again, and now outside of battery range, meaning one of those will get killed off. SCV count is extremely low at this point, so Percival still with more damage needing to get done. With Warp Gate finished, that means that there can be more Warp-ins coming out much more quickly at this point. So Percival does not want to let off the gas. He needs to just really just continue to bulldoze through with this one army. If we're allowed to get just a few more Stalkers out for Zound, there's still an opportunity to hold. Despite the fact that he's only on 6 workers, but this looks extremely good for Percival. Only one gateway, meaning it's going to be very difficult now for Zound to meet this large army. Does just barely get that one, but then gets flanked by another Marauder. Oh my god, not even the batteries enough to heal at that point. This is looking terrible for Zound, looking like he's actually going to get 2-0'd by Percival. Not what I was expecting to see, but Percival lands himself in the qualifying match with a nice, solid 2-0. Goddamn. And it looks like Azura and Acheron once again are blasted. Thinking that they can just do these low ground natural expansions while playing Proxy Marauder. I mean... I'm slightly trolling, but also not. But also, like we saw actually in the NA qualifier today, SOS played against Gumiho, who also did a proxy double Marauder, and SOS did the one base response, but Gumiho actually scouted that early enough that he scouted it so early that he could just cancel the Marauder plan, and he just instead made a Reaper and a Marine, and then just expanded at home. And SOS was just kind of stuck on one base. And eventually, it was, yeah, it was not great. But the, what was I saying? But yeah, there's also the threat of that happening in your game if you just want to try to go for the for the one base response. SOS did win that whole series, though. He did win it 3-1. So, ended up not being too big a video. We're going to hop into whatever Young's game is right now, which is versus Nightmare, actually. Creator is apparently in a 29-minute game against Cyan. Good lord. Alrighty. I believe this is just game 1. Pretty sure. Max Pax goes 1 Phoenix into Void Ray if Terran does that tradition and lifts the Cyclone. It's kind of cool. That is kind of neat. Thank you, Kashim. The based god admin for the RSL qualifiers. Bottom right hand side, playing, of course, for our team Vitality. It is Ryong. in the top left-hand side, playing for nobody. Or no, sorry, isn't he playing for Streamer Zone? Or no. Wait, is he? I can't remember. He's sponsored by Pulsar, which is the equipment company out here in Korea, the keyboard mouse company, and I'm using one of their mice actually, which is very good. It is Nightmare. I'm not really sure what's going on with Nightmare because like he tweeted that he's done playing StarCraft and that he's just like only gonna play Deadlock. But then he's but now he's here playing in this, so I'm not sure what to believe anymore. My theory, the rule of StarCraft gamers continue, or just kind of esports people in general, remains true that if you announce that you are retiring, you will not actually retire. You will come back. The people that actually retire from playing esports are the ones that just slowly drift into nothing and you don't hear anything about them or from them ever again. If you announce that you make an announcement like, guys, I'm retiring today. Like, oh, I thank you for playing, thank you for supporting me, but I'm done. Almost every single time they eventually come back and start playing again anyways. And it's yet again true. Alright, we got the Scout from the Probe onto the Factory and the Reaper, so we know pretty much what's happening here from Ryung off of a double gas opener. He's also pulled off of gas, so that way it's showing it's not actually a super committed one base, 1-1-1 all-in or anything like that. Will just be the straight-up Hellion Reaper opener, which has been pretty common off of these two gas openers. Nightmare staying back at home. Going for a double Adept opener, a little bit old school. Not going to be going for the fast Sentry stuff that so many people have been going for lately. So we'll see how that goes for him, playing a little bit more old school. That, of course, does get you a much faster Twilight Council. So that still has its opportunities. It's still got its pros and cons. Could still leverage that into some heavier aggression later on. I like that cancel on the Shade. Gets another little hit on the Reaper, but we'll need to get in with this second Adept, so make sure that this first one does not get killed off. But this is what the other pro of this style is, being that you can be a little bit more aggressive on the map with the early Adepts. Whereas the Sentry Stalker, you kind of just have to sit home and just let the hallucination scout and do everything. Looks like there's also a Widow Mine here. Will be a follow-up Widow Mine drop coming from Ryong. Yeah, there's the Blink. We've got our Robo coming up from Nightmare. We'll see if he decides to go anything super aggressive. He's going for 3 gateways in total, so I wouldn't be surprised if he does some kind of Prism 3-gate harassment with this. Not super committed or anything, but still with a third base. Of course, he's going to have to defend against this Medevac drop, which is coming right on in, just barely not scouted. But Nightmare generally should know the timing of when these things hit and should know that this is coming about right now. If it's a 2-gas opener, they do hit slightly earlier. It's going to be around the, right now, which is around the 4:15, 4:20 mark. If it's off of a normal 1-gas expand, you'll be seeing it around 4:45 or so. Nice defense initially. Stalker, unfortunately, getting caught by that on the back end is a little annoying. You don't generally want to be losing any of those, but a very nice defense overall. Both of the mines, or sorry, one of the mines killed off. One of them is very low HP, but that does mean that it can easily get killed off if it tries to go in for another drop in the future. So a very nice defense from Nightmare. As Ryung is going to be forced back with the Hellion Reaper as well, as that was also easily deflected in the natural. So very nicely done by Nightmare, only losing 3 probes and a Stalker. You might see that he's got, obviously, I mean, the Stalker obviously makes this look like it's much worse, but I consider that a very solid hold. Oh, he's actually going to be going for the double, sorry, the 2-base fast Storm style. That classic has been popularizing and showing to such great effect. But Ryung is the one that's going to be trying to hit just before this even gets underway, as he's going for a fast Marine Tank Banshee attack. Did he go for Cloak with this? No, he did not. No Stim, no Combat Shield, no Cloak, nothing. Nightmare also kind of missing the move out just a little bit. Blinks forward to try and get that Banshee, but will not be able to get it. Can get repaired up as well with the SCVs that were pulled with this. Now it's going to be all on Nightmare to be able to defend with the Blink Stalkers, with the Immortal. A ballsy Blink forward again, almost in tank range, to try and snipe this Banshee. No batteries have been set up. As you can see, Nightmare just completely unaware that this was happening until it was starting its way across the map. So trying to just defend it with whatever he has here. Blinks on forward after getting hit by a couple of those tank shots. The Immortal barely able to do anything. A bit of a mismanagement from Nightmare. Tried to pull the trigger just a little bit too early. These Stalkers on the right-hand side also getting shot in the face by that tank. The lack of batteries. If we had a battery set up over on this third base, that would have been excellent. But this is just getting worse and worse here for Nightmare Ryung with a very solid build. Couple feedbacks to try and weaken these Banshees with not enough energy to actually kill them somehow, despite how low health they are. Morphing them into an Archon is nice to try and choke, eat the damage. What the fuck? Soak, that's the word I'm looking for. Soak the damage. But this is going to be a little bit too late to do really anything. This natural is just going to get killed off. Probes being pulled in the last-ditch effort to defend against it right before it does die, but that is going to be about all she wrote for Nightmare in this first game. Ryung with a very solid follow-up attack after the initial Hellion drop. Sorry, Widowmine drop. Very nicely done. Mario did beat Lemon 2-1 as well. So that means he will be in the qualifying match as well to play against the winner of this series. Creator Percival also done. I think... Yeah, we do have a qualifying match ready. So should we wait for all the casters to be ready? I'm actually not sure how that works. I didn't even think about that. Okay. Crank is just saying so. Yeah. All right. Well, he was asking actually, but that was enough of a that question was enough to me enough for me to make a decision to say yes, we will wait. So that everyone is casting all together, I guess. Everyone gets all of the quality content. So we got 2 more at most games here in this series, and then 2 best of 5s to cast after this. So some solid matches to be had in the next about 2 hours or so. Non-stop, full throttle SC2 coming at you, no brakes. Top left-hand side, playing for Team Vitality. It is Ryung with a nice swift 1-game lead. Bottom right-hand side, Nightmare playing on Maganatha. A pretty good map, I must say. As a Protoss player, I generally feel pretty good playing on Maganatha. I enjoy the map. It's quite solid. It's pretty open, or it's a little bit, it's slightly large. It's definitely one of the larger maps of the pool with the largest rush distance. It's not like the largest rush distance of all time. There's still plenty of maps that are wider, but the map feels like you have enough space to set up your 4 bases pretty well. Drops are pretty simple to, to keep track of and everything. So I think it's just generally pretty good. There's lots of different avenues that you can just kind of send zealot waves all around the map and just really pick the opponent apart. It's really easy to just come over here with your main army with another set of zealots running down to the third base over here, and they have a pretty I mean, not the longest distance to travel, but you have to still, like, you know, bounce between these two bases as the defender. And if you just kind of know exactly where your opponent is moving, it's a very easy way to just completely pick them apart. But then on the flip side as well, if you know that your opponent is going for those types of plays and you have your scouting in check, since this is still relatively close by, it's actually pretty easy just to bounce back and forth as well to defend against that. So if you are on the aggression and constantly denying vision, the harassment, that's kind of what I like in a map, where it's like if you are being aggressive and constantly denying the vision, you still have plenty of opportunities to pick them apart with harassment and run-bys. But if you are doing a good job on the defensive, also getting your vision back, it's still easy enough to move and reposition to defend. So that way you're not just dying and it's like impossible to split things up even though you have full map vision and stuff. So in that regard, I consider Magnatha to be pretty good. It feels good playing on it. Once again, going to be the double Adept opener into the Twilight for Nightmare. Not sipping the hallucination Kool-Aid yet. We'll be still going for those double Adepts. Gets the Scout. I'm not quite sure if he saw that Hellion in time. Might have canceled it just before, but it's nothing super crazy coming out from Ryung. He did go for a more normal build this time, going for that expansion into just the singular Hellion to do a little bit of scouting, and now going into a more normal Mind Drop as well, which will allow Nightmare a little bit more opportunity to be more aggressive with his double Adept. We'll be able to get an SCV, and if he's good on his micro, might even snag another one. The Hellion, on the meanwhile, was able to find its way into the main base. We'll force a little bit of multitasking here from Nightmare to be able to keep these probes alive while his Stalker deals with that. Nice block with the probe. I love it. Keeps all of his probes alive while getting that clean snipe as well. Gets the SCV. Doesn't lose his Adepts on the other side. Very nice opener from Nightmare. These, of course, are going to continue to give plenty of scouting opportunities. If Ryung is not careful, those Adepts will run right into the main base with those depots down. But we do have the fast Mind Drop coming on in regardless. This one hitting basically the same time as last time, around the 4:15 mark. Actually, maybe even just a slightly bit earlier. Was able to just barely get this out faster, so very nicely done there. Uses a probe with the Stalkers to kill off the mine. An excellent defense yet again. Where'd those two Adepts go? Oh, they did find their way into the main base. Just like I was mentioning, if Ryung caught with his pants down will mean that those Adepts can find their way in. 3 probes, sorry, SCVs getting killed off. That's a nice trade. Sure, you're sacrificing 2 Adepts for it, but 4 SCVs in total while losing nothing back at home to the Mind Drop. You're definitely going to be feeling pretty good as Nightmare. So yet again, he comes away with the early game lead. The next question becomes, can he identify the follow-up? Because last time he didn't. And that was his demise. Just going to go right back into what he was doing the first game. Pick up where everything was left off. We'll see if he can find a better way into the mid-game here, as the Banshee on the bottom left-hand side taking the longest route possible to get over to the natural. No cloak on this one, but there is no battery either. Nightmare, with enough Stalkers prepared, should be able to deal with that pretty easily. But if for some reason he was not looking, or if those Stalkers got pulled at an inopportune moment, that could have been a fully dead mineral line. But as it stands, Nightmare should be quite aware. Ryung, even realizing the Stalkers are there, reacts quicker, and will just hightail it out of there. Doesn't want to lose that Banshee for nothing. Just gets a probe and runs on back out. Nice defensive setup from Ryung as well to make sure that no blink in the mains can be going down, even though that the tech labs are, of course, on the awkward side. Ooh, nice snipe. Ryung is fully prepared against this. Not like Nightmare is setting himself up for that type of style either. He's going for the fast storm, of course, so you're not going to be aggressive with those Stalkers. You're going to have only a few of them as well. He's literally... Actually, he's got 9. He's got more than I thought. Where are they all? Oh, here's one. Where are the other ones? Oh, he's got them in the main base and whatnot. So he's just got them spread between each base. Just got one poking forward to scout the move out, and then can blink on back. But regardless, you don't really have the leverage to send those across the map, since you're going for such a tech-heavy opener. But now with Storm done, some Templar recharged, we'll be able to put those into the War Prism and potentially try to find some juicy Storms. Oh my god, he's gonna do a field goal, isn't he? Nope, he's gonna find the right post. All right, Nightmare will be able to scout this drop is happening. Ryung was very close to actually threading the needle there. But nice pylon positioning will alert Nightmare to the threat. As the Banshee tries to come in for just a little bit more damage, not going to find anything. Third base about to finish for Ryung, so he's going to be feeling pretty good to just move this on into a macro game. Doesn't want to just try and end the game super fast. Sorry, I was realizing my title is wrong. As this is happening at the worst time, because this is when the attack is happening. XD. Pretty nice split from Ryung, honestly, to be able to deny those two storms from any massive damage. Scans as well, thinking that there was a little bit too much information there. Also, we'll make sure there's nothing there to see when this drop is going to get done. As I fix my title. Excellent, we did it. All right. Will Nightmare be expecting the 4 drops? He does have a lot of units in the main base to defend against this, so if he's paying attention... Okay, Ryung once again not going to overextend that one. Sends it on back. The rest of his army moving pretty nicely to the left-hand side. Looks like Nightmare was able to catch a glimpse of that, of course, with this Observer in the front, so we'll be able to react accordingly. Catching these 2 tanks is very nice. It's very annoying as a Terran to try and remake those, so any of those that you can get is very good. Lots of Widow Mines out as well, obviously, considering the fact that Nightmare is going for the more charge-focused style. Don't really want to be making more tanks from the initial few, and just want to be going right into those mines. Also into the fast Ghost as well. He's even making a couple Vikings. I'm not sure if that's for a prism defense, maybe putting them on the sides, or if he's expecting the double Colossus transition already. Because some players like Classic and whatnot will try to go for that around now-ish, maybe in the next like minute. But Nightmare's not actually going for that just yet. He's actually going double Forge because he skipped his Forge entirely. So Ryung might be preempting the, whatever you call it, the Colossus transition a little bit too early, and I think he realizes that and has stopped actually making any. Just going full onto the Ghost at this point. Looks like those Vikings will prove themselves at least a little bit useful, and we'll kill off that Observer, which is always nice. Denying the vision is always what you want as the Terran player. Nightmare just sharking around, trying to do whatever he can. He wants to see if he can land a couple juicy storms with this Prism full of Templar. He's doing a good job of just kind of keeping map vision and map control, so that way he denies Ryung the chance, just giving himself more opportunity and just relieving the pressure of having to always follow the Terran army. Oh, these 2 cloaked ghosts randomly walk forward, though, and find the Templar and force this army back. It's kind of a nice little play right there for Ryung. And it will respond, or it will react, force Nightmare to react by bringing this Prism on up. And you can just kind of see both players just kind of going back and forth on the top and bottom sides of the map near these watchtowers just to regain this vision. Just trying to test each other to see if they can find some sort of opening. Neither player really letting up at this point. Prism drop onto this army is going to be very nice. Nice few storms. Ghosts also very far forward. Will get killed off. The rest of the bio is going to get cleaned up with very few medevacs to help heal this on up. will mean that there's going to be a flank coming out from Ryung on the right side, but all the medevacs, oh no, all the medevacs just get A-moved right over top. And so that means they get destroyed by all of the stalkers. The one sole tank on the back end will be able to make this a little bit awkward on the retreat, but that is a lot of air units to lose out of nowhere from Ryung. He's now only down to 3 medevacs. And actually, okay, he does have the Robo-Bay. If Nightmare was slightly faster with this Colossus transition, this would have been gargantuan for him. Because that means that Ryung would have to be making both medevacs and Vikings at the same time. But now, given that the Colossus transition is not fully in effect just yet, Ryung can kind of just get away with only remaking the medevacs for now. But this would have been a massive moment for Nightmare to punish with a sudden 4 Colossi out of nowhere. Unfortunately, not going to be the case, but still does have a lot of gateway units. We'll be able to run over to this third base and try to just target it down, forcing the lift, and there's no repair really being done until the last second, so that will barely just survive as the unit's forced to come on back home from Ryung. Nightmare doing the best that he can to get back on track with the upgrades. The double forge constantly chronoing is very nice for that. And Ryung was very late on the 3-3. It's still not even getting the +3 armor just yet. Does he have a second eBay? He does. He just forgot it. He doesn't have the money for it at the moment. So eventually Nightmare will catch back up on the upgrades. That's a ballsy blink down. Not quite sure what that was. Stalkers completely dissectioned from the Zealots as the flanking army over the top of from Ryung is also going to find its way over here. A massive blunder from Nightmare in that attack. Not quite sure what he was trying to get from there, as he's really just got to force his, he's just forced to run back home. The Colossus transition, again, is very late. So we're just kind of sitting here as Nightmare on just a bunch of gateway units that generally are not going to do very well. And without his +2/+2 finish just yet, that's also a worse fight with the upgrades. Really wants to avoid taking any major engagements until those upgrades are finishing, which are going to be about now. So that does even things right back up. There are 7 Templars dispersed somewhere around the map. Looks like they are just kind of randomly at different bases and in the middle here, in case for any run-bys or flanks or whatever have you. So nice vision with some forward observers as well. I like this from Nightmare, just again getting as much vision as possible. He really can see a good amount. Seeing this army constantly moving on the left-hand side. Saw this one on the right with the watchtower. Means he can really identify where everything is and go in with the Zealots right now. Unfortunately, Ryung was able to react just in time with that, so those will not get too much done. Blink forward to kill off some of these medevacs is good. Zealots getting on top of the bio. And now that we have the Colossi out, it will allow Nightmare a little bit more room to take these engagements while Ryung tries to get his Viking count up, but he can't actually do that just yet because he's fully maxed. And so he doesn't really even have the room to respond yet with his Vikings. Nightmare really wants to try and take advantage of this opportunity. At least he should be, but he's continuing with the observers. He's got 4 observers on the map. He's making 2 more. Guys, this is very unfortunate for Nightmare that he's not finding an opportunity. There's been such a giant window to abuse this lack of Vikings from Ryung. Looks like we're just going to go YOLO on in. I feel like Nightmare wasn't actually paying attention. Wasn't expecting that army to be there. Somehow both armies just get away unscathed. This will allow the Zealots to go right back into the third base as well. Nightmare's been very on top of sending these Zealot waves every single time he's attacking it. There's always a Zealot wave going elsewhere. And it's really putting the pressure on Ryung to stay on top of where everything is moving. I can't believe Nightmare's only got 2 Colossi. I actually can't believe it. This army trying to get surrounded. Storms going off on everything. Nice third storm there. That was excellent. Ryung just kind of walking and eating that one full force. Zealots yet again trying to go to the third base. This bunker will not die until just now. SCV is not in number to repair it in time. Nightmare desperately trying to find some little window, some little opening to send this army. 3-3 is going to be finished now for him as well. Once again, evening on up with the Terran player. And then we'll be allowed to go into that shield upgrade as well. Zealots yet again getting thrown over to the right-hand side. Will this be enough? EMP going off on the Colossi. Storms trying to get thrown down, but honestly, way too far forward. They don't even really hit anything from the Terran, and now these two Colossi are just going to get wiped by the Vikings as well. The Zealot reinforcement wave is doing a great amount of damage to force this bio back, but once these start to get chewed up, there's really not much else here on the ground for Nightmare. Zealot wave also killed off on the top right. Ryung takes a pretty favorable engagement as the double Colossi comes right back in. Did we ever get range? Okay, he did. Damn, his army looks so small compared to the spy number. Because he's got so much stuff back at home as well. He's got a bunch of Templar just kind of sitting all around. His probe count is quite large as well. But yeah, his army is, not really that great. Oh my god, we got nukes. Oh my god, we're young. The Entertainer throwing out some nukes. Is Nightmare paying attention? He will notice this one. I don't think it's even far enough forward to even have killed many probes in the mineral line anyways, but reacts anyways just in case. EMP onto the Prism, but will allow the Storms to get on out. An excellent 2 Storms on that bio, but the Colossi coming in for the reinforcement just instantly attacked by the Vikings, so completely caught off guard is Nightmare with those, but a nice engagement so far from him to kill off this top base, and also a ton of the bio on the bottom. Gets the full medevac, but the Cloaked Ghosts are actually destroying everything because there's no Observer just yet, but will just now join in as well on the back end. So this fight is extremely scrappy, as Ryung suddenly is losing everything out of nowhere. Scan to come down to try and kill off these observers, but there's like no anti-air to be able to do anything. All the Templar getting F2'd forward, and feedbacks and Storms all going down right in the same place. I cannot believe this fight is going Nightmare's way. And that's the GG. Ryung, after having a pretty solid state in the whole game, just crumbles suddenly at the end with a great fight, even with those Colossi getting flanked. Nightmare evens it on up. All right, we're going to be going into game number 3. Very action-packed game. You can see how well Nightmare still has a grasp on everything, despite the fact that he was taking a little bit of time away from the game. And also playing just a slightly different style overall. The newer style of the Fast Storm seeming to suit him fairly well. Especially if he doesn't get ganked by some random Marine tank all in that he didn't scout. So, top right-hand side, playing for Team Vitality. It is going to be Ryung. The bottom left-hand side, it is Nightmare, evening up the series 1-1. And a pretty action-packed game. Very nice, solid macro game from both players. I still cannot believe at how that last fight went. Like it started with the Colossi getting. I guess it really started with the Templar getting the just full radius, full duration double storm on all of that bio. Ryung EMP'd a little bit too early, missed the Templar as they went in. And then he just sat in the 2 storms. But then he still had the flank with the Vikings and the other army, killing off the 2 Colossi. But it wasn't before the top army got completely wiped anyway, so Nightmare was able to just kind of snowball to a victory. Nightmare extremely, extremely scared of a proxy 2-Rex Marauder. Scouting everywhere. I've never seen a pro player scout this heavily for proxy before, I feel like, in PvT. At least not anytime recently. Literally scouts the entire side of his map. But it will just be a 1-Rex expand coming from Ryung. Nothing weird at all. Nightmare does not really care to continue the scouting afterwards, as it wouldn't really do anything. The probe would just be meeting a Marine or a Reaper. So if you go for the full scout on your side, you cannot send the probe across. It's much better just to bring it on back home. Really does still seem to love this double Adept opener as well. Oh, what is this? That is a fast armory. I was gonna wonder the positioning of that building on the minimap. I'm like, wait, well, hold up a second. You don't just build anything at the very top of your base this early in the game for no reason. And yeah, that is going to be a fast armory coming out of Ryung. So a little bit of a switch up. Couple of options with this. It could be a fast cloaked Widowmine opener. Could be some random Cyclone shenanigans, but I would be very strange if that is actually the case. But yeah, it's going to be the Widowmine. Most likely option. This is by far one of the most obnoxious things to play against as a Protoss player. Yep, and there's that Drilling Claw upgrade. So we'll be getting some fast cloaked Widowmines that also burrow super fast. And if if Nightmare is not prepared for this with a fast Robo, he's going to be in a world of hurt. Will drop that Robo though. But even if he does have the Robo and he's got the Observers, it's still tricky to deal with this because there's going to just be constant Widowmines running their way across the map. And it gets very difficult to keep track of everything. Very nice micro from Ryung to keep all those SCVs alive. Wow, very nice. I was for sure he was going to lose at least one there to that Adept, but Adept will do basically nothing. Doesn't even really scout anything either. And now these Widowmines with Drilling Claws about to be finished are going to send themselves across the map. Doesn't look like Ryung's going to go for the super committed version, actually. He's just following it up with tanks back at home. So he's not going to be trying to just YOLO medevac after medevac full of them this game. Just going to be going for the initial one. Wrapping one of them around as well to try and go into the natural when the drop happens. You're looking for these probes to get transferred down to the nat, and then this gets an absolute money shot. But I don't think that's going to be happening just yet, as of course Nightmare not pulling the probes all the way down. But is this enough of a distraction? No, the 3 Stalkers at the front met that Widowmine as well. So yet again, another remarkable defense from Nightmare, as he just waited for the Observer to come on in to be able to kill off the rest of those. So very little damage done. Lots of mining time lost, though. That does force the probes to be pulled away for a very long time, which does impact how much mining you get done. And I know that's like such a caster thing to be like, oh, but the mining time. But it actually is pretty important at this point. It was a lot of time to not be mining from an entire base, basically. And especially when you're going for such a tech-heavy build off of 2 bases. Having that much income be lost really does kind of mess your build up. Obviously, Nightmare should be very happy with that defense yet again because he did defend it very easily. But it's not the worst thing in the world for Ryung either. Losing that Cyclone is actually pretty annoying as well. A nice little pick from Nightmare to be able to kill that off. Unfortunately, Ryung not quite paying attention to bring it back in time. But we will be getting this fast storm. 4 extra gateways coming on down nice and quickly. Once again, Nightmare skipping the fast forge. Just try to get as many gateways out as possible, anticipating an early move out. There is a double barracks coming down as well. I don't know if he scouted this, actually. He did not. Doesn't quite know just yet. He could actually just dip right in with this observer just to see this. That would be so huge for him. He sees one of them being made, and he already saw 3 up here. So he has to assume that a 5th one is also being made. No one goes 4 racks on 2 bases. So Nightmare should have all of the information that he needs to come away with a defense this game. But actually, it will be a 3rd CC with this as well. Okay, hold up. Ryung isn't going to be going fully all in. Will still expand behind this just a little bit later. Or it could just be a fake. Ye old fake 3rd CC with a 5 racks SCV pull. And then just use all your mules for income. That is actually a legitimate possibility. Terran players do that. Oh, just barely misses. Oh my god, he blinks for it anyway. He didn't think that the units were actually unloaded already, but thankfully he's already got his Zealots and Prism here. That could have gone bad very quickly for Nightmare if it was just those Stalkers against that Bioforce, but luckily he had sent his entire army up here to deal with this. The fact that we do have Drilling Claws does make it very awkward as well, because we do have to constantly have an observer in our army now, and this one is actually about to get sniped. Just barely gets away in time, actually. Oh, we got the storms! Could be huge! Nope, not going to try for it. Just blinks away, doesn't want to go for it just yet. 3rd CC is landing, but there's no SCV production on it just yet. Okay, we will start those SCVs up right now. I'm just very curious how committed this 3rd base actually is, because again, I'm always afraid of Terran players that just make a 3rd and then just SCV pull anyways. I've seen it too many times. But Ryung will not be doing so. Instead, he's basically going to be base traded. Nightmare just full sending it into the natural. Whereas Ryung is also already on his opponent's side, but he's not quite at the base just yet. So Nightmare will have a slight edge up in that regard. But this Terran army is still going to be super sick. But oh my god, the storms apparently were sick on the other side. I completely missed that. Ryung not anticipating those Templar to be left there, and that means a large chunk of his army. Another fat storm going off on absolutely everything. Ryung not anticipating the storms to be left at home. And now Nightmare with an excellent position, getting on top of the Terran's main base so quickly. There's not much left back at home for Nightmare just now, as the rest of it is over here. But the Templar actually coming back from the Prism to be able to defend against everything, seeing how low all the bio is. Gonna go right on for it. Oh my god, and the Zealot's coming back as well. Looks like he recalled, actually. Oh, what a cleanup for Nightmare. No, he didn't recall. He just ran back home. And that's a GG. Oh my god, Nightmare with a great defense of the base trade. That was really good crisis management, actually. Seeing exactly how or where the army was moving, knowing that he was going to have the upper hand in the actual base trade itself by initiating it first, long before Ryung was able to get to his base. And then knowing how much he could get away with back at home with the storms before he had to run the rest of his army back home. And then just cleans it all back up. It was very calculated. You can expand faster and base trade with this race. Are you talking about Terran? That was all Nightmare. That was all Nightmare, knowing exactly where the movements of Ryung was and initiating it cleanly. Yeah, very well handled by Nightmare. We'll be playing against Maru next, so definitely a more difficult opponent. But that will be after this series, which is going to be Percival versus Creator, our first qualifying match. It's going to be a best of 5 this time.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for all the follows today. Very nice of all of you. Very cool. Very, very cool of all of you to be here to watch this amazing day of StarCraft. As we have on the top right-hand side, playing the Terran, it is Percival, coming off of a 2-0 victory over Zaun in the previous match. A bit of an upset. On the bottom left-hand side, Creator walked away with a also a 2-0 against Cyan. So was able to win out in a PvP. I cannot believe with the amount of Protosses that are signed up here. I have only seen PvT and then that one PvZ in the end of Zaun series. It's been just a bunch of PvT. It's funny. Anyways, Creator's going to be starting off by scouting all around for some proxies. Doesn't want to get caught off, as of course Percival did win his second game versus Zaun with a proxy Marauder. So Creator does not want to get tricked, does not want to get caught off guard at all.
Thank you.
We'll go for a slight early scout and then send it on in to get a little bit of a scout later, but we'll still see pretty much everything he needs. I would say that you could, well, since Creator went for only like one scout, he went for the scout on this side instead of the entire other side like Nightmare did. You can still send it over to be able to scout everything in the main base in time. But I think a lot of pro players would also argue that it's at that point it's still kind of just, you just might as well just send it home to not waste as much eco as possible. But I still kind of like being able to go and actually see on the other side of the map to confirm that it is not a proxy at all. And just to know if it's like a 2-gas or what. Because, of course, seeing when this natural is coming down. Oh, we cancel that. Good. Just seeing when the natural is coming down tells you if it's going to be, if it was a 2-gas or 1-gas. So that's just kind of good information to have in general. Really lets you know what exactly could be coming from the Terran player. First, we're trying to do whatever he can with this Reaper, of course, get his scouting information done. Creator has been sipping the hallucination Kool-Aid. So we'll be going for the first early sentry to get the full-on scout. Love to see it. Goes into Twilight himself. I would not be surprised if Percival just does basically... Oh, no. Well, that game he did a proxied Hellion drop. So that's already different, I guess. I was going to say, I wouldn't be surprised if Percival just does the same thing that he did against Zaun in game number 1 with that committed tank push SCV all in. Because it worked so well. But that was also after a Hellion drop that did 7 probes worth of damage. So he might not try to bring it out this time. Maybe we'll go for something a little bit less committed. But generally, I still feel like Percival is someone that wants to just try and end the game. He doesn't really want to just walk into a 15-20 minute TVP late game scenario. It's not exactly his cup of tea, as his stream titles always would tell us. If anyone is a Percival stream enjoyer, you would know that for the last like 2+ months, he was streaming every day with the same stream title of something to the effect of like still playing this broken matchup ... or something like that. And he was no GGing in every single one of his PVTs while GGing any Terran and Zerg player he played.
Thank you.
It was kind of funny. Alright, Fast Storm going to be coming out for Creator. Going to be doing just the same style as a lot of these Protosses have been doing so far in the last few months. A singular Widowmine drop. Going to try to find its way back into the main base. Creator, of course, well positioned with his Stalkers. We'll be able to see if any move out's going to be coming. Will he be reacting to the drop is the question. Surely he will. Yep. Womp. One mine means you don't have to worry that much as Creator. You can honestly just kind of let it go. Focus elsewhere. Get these units into safety as they will blink on away. And it will be the SCV pull again. So despite the fact that we did not get any early damage here as Percival, he just wants to end it. And so, yeah, it's going to just be the exact same stuff. Let's see how Creator does against defending this. Fast Storm means it's going to be much easier on the defense. No combat shields for these Marines means every storm is going to hurt even more. Oh, this is going to be an absolute slog from Percival to try to get up this ramp. He's going to just ditch that entirely, try to go up on the left-hand side. Creator wants to chase, sees the tanks in the medevacs, wants to take advantage of this opportunity, and oh, the storms. Absolutely excellent. We'll be able to duke and dodge around one of them, though, but the blink forward means that the tanks are going to get killed off very quickly. A couple of Archons getting morphed on in, so these Marines really have no standing in this game. Another blink to try and kill these medevacs. Percival runs away with some of them, but that is a very clean defense from Creator. It's going to be incredibly difficult for Percival. Lost all those SCVs. Charge hadn't even been done during that engagement. That's actually wild. There's the haha GG. Although I believe that was just an accidental typing in Korean. Not a intended haha emote. Alrighty. Let's go. Come on, game. You can do it. Thank you. I always believed in you, video game. Alrighty. Top left-hand side. Playing as the Red Terran. It's going to be your boy, Percival. Young Percy. Unfortunately, down a game. His shenanigans with the SCV pool not quite doing it against the early Storm play from this man down here playing as the Blue Protoss. It is Creator. A near flawless game from Creator. Would not be surprised to continue to see him go for that fast Storm play. It's been doing very well overall. Going to be a fast 2 gas opener this time, though, from Percival. Going to be swapping it up just a little bit. Try to do something a little bit more aggressive and different to try and catch his opponent off guard. We'll see if it's just that fast early Reaper Hellion or if he's got something else cooked up. Percival, definitely someone that does come up with some interesting builds. Likes to throw in some real good Ched. Plenty of random little proxies, plenty of little 1-1-1 all-ins, all that good stuff. So we'll see if he's got anything different cooked up here. If it's just going to be kind of the other flavor of Terran with that Reaper Hellion stuff. Yeah, this is the qualifiers, of course, for the RSL season number 2. Our first season was super fun. Lots of success. I think we did really well with it initially. It was a very good time overall. The studio is great. We're not casting from the studio for the qualifiers, of course, but once the season gets kicked off, we will be right on back into the studio. Very excited to be able to do that yet again. If anyone doesn't know what the heck this even is, you might want to do an exclamation mark RSL in the chat so you can see our cool little Patreon and consider supporting our beautiful little Patreon as well, as this is a fully crowdfunded tournament. And you get little perks for your different tiers and whatnot. Will we be able to get the Reaper? Ow! Oh! Wow. That's stretching across time and space to be able to get that last hit. Crazy. Yeah, Creator is going to be playing it differently this time. I think, given the fact that he scouted that early 2 gas, he's actually just going for the faster Adept right across the map. Just meets the Reaper, gets both of them, and stays alive. Good lord, that is value from this Adept. It just completely shuts down Percival's build. Like, you just... The Reaper Hellion stuff just doesn't even happen anymore. You can't do it. It seems like these high-level Protoss players, if they see that it's going to be a 2-gas opener... I mean, Nightmare was just doing it every game, but this time Creator seemingly reacting to the 2-gas and electing not to go for the Sentry build this time. So that way he just has these extra depths early to be able to just combat the Hellion Reaper before it's even able to get across to his side of the map. And it's completely shut it down. So now that doesn't really have any threat anymore. So this follow-up Widowmine drop, well, yes, it does need to be dealt with. There's no more 2-prong. It's just a single Hellion at 3/4 health. That's going to get dealt with very easily. Otherwise, it's going to be 2 Reapers and a couple Hellions usually finding their way. Looks like actually, since it is 3 Widowmines, it looks like it would have just been that 1 Hellion regardless. Percival going for the full 3 mine drop instead of 2. We'll see what kind of damage can get done, but excellent split off from Creator. With 1 more mine going off into the main base, but... Okay, a little bit lucky there from Creator, actually, that splash did not actually hit as much. Got a last millisecond pull away. I'm not quite sure if that actually impacted anything. But only 3 probes on that last one. And honestly... Oh, wait. That's in total. Wow, that's actually insane. That's actually insane. I cannot believe that last mine hit only killed one probe. Yeah, that's definitely a bit unlucky for Percival. I think he was definitely hoping for at least a solid 4 or 5 with that last mine hit right there. It looked like it was gonna hit money. Blink forward from Creator as well into the Nat. Just wants to try and end this. Maybe not end it, but just try to do as much damage as possible. He's going to try to get some SCVs. Some Marines for his trouble. Will be able to do so. 4 of them getting killed off. Very nicely done. The Prism also here will make this very nice. Loading up that one Adept to soak any damage if there was a tank already out, but there is none. Just blinks right on up. Oh, this is going to be awful here. The one tank was at the natural, but the double cloak Banshee actually is going to make this really difficult for Creator. No Observer at the front. Oh, never mind. It's over here. Yes, Observer at the front, but just over here instead. But it still will force him away because it wasn't quite in position. But now he realizes, oh shit, it's right here. Oh, did he see those Banshees move out? I'm not quite sure if he did. He does now. Oh no! Percival, unfortunately, getting caught off. Thankfully, that one had just enough energy to be able to cloak again, but god, that is very unfortunate. Once again, the tank's out of position. Oh, no. Wow, I can't believe that bunker's alive. Holy crap, repair is busted. I was so sure that was going to die. Holy moly. Where'd that Banshee go? Did that just die? Did that get F2'd back? Yes, it did. Oh, yeah, we're just going right back up again. This tank is in range this time, though. So we'll be able to shell away. Little bit over-aggressive, I think, from Creator at that point. Is able to shave off some more Marines, which is good, and some still decent micro to pick up the Stalkers right after they blinked, but this is getting a little bit sketchy now. These Stalkers are very low in HP. You don't really want to go too gun-ho with them at this point. Storm on the back end. Even though it was a much more aggressive, focused style this time with the fast blink counter. Still going into the quick storm afterwards anyways. Showing that you don't necessarily have to just play this one way. You could still be aggressive while going for fast storm. Nice coverage from Percival, keeping those Marines over on the left side, knowing that this follow-up medevac drop or War Prism drop could be a threat. And that does actually save his skin there. Otherwise, that definitely would have gone to the back of the mineral line and gotten a nice, more solid 3 or 4 SCVs more. Oh, okay. He's paying attention. That's all good. He's getting hunted a little bit, though. I don't know if you want to hunt with this kind of a Stalker force. Yeah, these are very low HP. Those Marauders will just make mincemeat of these Stalkers. Oh, he's still trying for that. I cannot believe that. That is, yeah, very, very risky, Creator. 4th base already going down as well. Good lord. Scan sees the whole army. That's actually very nice for Percival to know that. A little bit of pressure relieved from him. He's able to just kind of walk forward to this forward position, take his 3rd base without much of a sweat. Creator still running on across the map anyways, noticing that Percival's gotten a little bit casual with his move. Didn't actually bring everything forward. The tank's not in position. Oh my god, the splits not just barely in time. A couple of the storms landing huge on this bio. And Creator just wants to bust on through before this 3rd base can get set up. Warp Prism warping on in. Immortals also dealing with the tanks nicely. Means that this 3rd base cannot be taken. An excellent cutting move from Creator. When Percival was still trying to set up, he just was a little bit too slow on moving everything down. Didn't have his tank. He unsieged the tanks, but didn't bring them down and reset them up again. Creator coming in with the pincer move right at the perfect time. And now it's going to be very difficult for Percival to find his footing back in this mid-game, as Creator's army is hella beefy. Creator's still kind of taking his time with this. Doesn't want to go super crazy just yet. Just making sure he 100% gets the kill. Forcing the bio into him so he can then storm it. Boom. And... oh, EMP on top of the Templar. Very nice. Boom. Doesn't matter. This is gonna be tough here for Percy. Not going to lie. And there's the GG Creator with a very clean second game. Looking like he's outclassing young Percy over here. All right. The potential last map of this game. Of this series, I should say. Alrighty. Top right-hand side, down 2 maps. 2 very simple and pretty clean maps as well. It is Percival. Needs to bring something special. Is this the time where he brings out the proxy double racks? It doesn't seem like the SCVs are moving, so I don't believe it is. Creator will not have to worry about that one, and he is the guy spawning on the bottom left-hand side. The guy. Just called Creator the guy. He's that guy down over there. Yeah, this is not looking great for Percival. It's been a rough series for him. I mean, he did extremely well to knock out Zaun in the round prior. Did make me a little bit more hopeful that he would put up a bigger fight here against Creator, considering the fact that I feel like, in general, in the last few months, Zaun has definitely kind of overtaken Creator in that, like, third or fourth best in Protoss in Korea title. So yeah, I just find it interesting that he dispatched of Zaun, honestly, pretty easily. Like, it was just not close at all. Okay, here we go. Oh, nope, he's scouting. Never mind. I thought he was going to be doing some shenanigans. Oh, damn, Creator. Skirting on the edge there, man. Good lord, I can't believe he actually got that out. Oh! Oh, no, never mind, he had shields. Oh, he is going to do it. Yep, okay. Percy's back. We're going to do a proxy proxy star report again. Bringing out what worked against Zaun. Yeah, I was going to say, I was surprised in these first 2 games that, given how well Percival dispatched of Zaun, that this series wasn't much closer. But maybe this is where things start to take a turn. Because this is where Percival found his footing in that first series versus Zaun with the proxy starport Hellion drop. Let's see what it is able to do this game. Reaper, unfortunately, will get killed off. Adept, nice to tag it. Chase it on down. Kill it on off. So that's very good. Mass Twilight Council, of course, after the Sentry. So even in Zaun's game, he was able to go for a fast Sentry and get the Hallucination Scout and see the lack of a starport. There's nothing on this barracks either. Like, this just screams at the top of a Terran's lungs. I am going proxy starport. Is Creator going to be a little bit more well defended against it? Sound lost 7 probes. Creator with a battery in the main base, realizing the potential. Doesn't guess correctly, though, onto which area this is being done from. Does still have a battery in the natural as well, but he's expecting this to come into his main base, but it will be at the natural, only just now scouted with that probe, so he's fully aware of what's happening, but just a little bit too late. A couple probes already getting killed off. The rest of his units not in position because he's expecting the drop to go back in, and it will, but he can still unload in time because this is not many units, and the force field is not actually blocking. It's going to be more probe damage this time, in fact, compared to against Zaun. 8 probes is excellent damage. Percival's absolutely going to be walking away happy with this, and he's even kept 1 more Hellion alive than versus Zaun as well, which means he still is in one-shot potential, one-shot potential onto any other probes that he may find. The medevac is still a little bit low, so he's got to be careful, but there's not much anti-air here. We can absolutely get some more probes right now, and he will do just that. One of the Hellions getting killed off pretty quickly, but 2 more get killed off and will be able to get away safe and sound. Blink not even close to finish just yet. Percival is sitting pretty with this opener. That is an excellent, excellent start from the young Terran. Alright, so of course... Oh, sorry. Was that 1 more probe? Yeah, I think so. At this point, the medevac drop is kind of past itself. It's not really going to find any more damage. So just kind of trying to bleed those out for whatever you can get with them for is fine. Leaving with the medevac is excellent. Keeping that alive is honestly going to be extremely impactful, considering the fact that this is likely going to be shaping up into another SCV pool. Although, I don't know if you want to do that actually as Percival, because does he scout that as a fast Templar? No, he doesn't know. But this can still be fine for Creator if Percival just kind of YOLOs into a bunch of storms again. There's the two extra barracks as well. This is looking like it's going to be another SCV pool. But keeping this medevac alive is super good, like I was saying, because you're going for such a fast follow-up push after this. So having 1 extra medevac in the actual engagement is very nice, considering you're not really having that much time to get more anyways. Alright, here we do go. With this stim finishing on up, we can move across the map now. Nice micro from Percival to try to keep as many of these units alive and keep the Marauders up front to be able to shoo these Stalkers away. There is the SCV pull. Scan on the army to make sure there's no observer to see it. Confirms it. Creator with storm finished. Army size quite small. But he now identifies that the SCVs are being pulled. The army's getting split up just a little bit. Can the storms land is the question. We need these to land on absolutely everything. Percival kind of walking into that last storm over there, flanking Zealots on the top as well. You can see how much storm energy we have as Creator. But honestly, without as much to support on the ground, and with charge not done either, it makes it very difficult for him to actually do a killing blow to this army. Stalkers getting killed off by the reinforcements as well. Tank count still very healthy. Is this Percival's time to shine? Has he found a victory against Creator? More Templar warped on in. Only 1 of them, maybe 2 of them, will have Storm energy on them. Looks like maybe 1 or 2. 3rd base will get killed off. 4th base being taken, so that will become the new 3rd base here for Creator. Supply blocked as well. Creator now with an inability to warp any extra units, and those Templar getting very close to getting killed off by those tanks. Does not want to lose them. His entire game relies on these storms hitting. First one, all right. Second one, really not hitting its mark, but there's still 2 more on the top side. Will these be able to get the nice juicy hits? Percival running back away just in time. There's such little energy on these medevacs as well. Every single stim that you force from Creator is still going to be good as well. He's just buying as much time, forcing a forward blink onto the tanks, unexpected. But again, this bio is so in the red. Every single stim is so worthwhile. If you're Creator, that is. So once these storms actually do land, it's going to be absolutely ridiculous. Creator, I think, has stalled this out long enough that I think he should be able to take this nice and easily. Storming even the tanks at this point, why not? 1 storm on the bio will be more than enough. Yeah, the more and more units get warped in here, this is going to get nicer and nicer for Creator. That tank going to get killed off. An excellent hold from the Protoss. It looked very sketchy at first. But the just the amount of stalling that the storms do, giving Creator more and more time to just get a little bit more here, a little bit more there. It's also kind of rough because Percival, had he not waited to kill the 3rd base and instead just like walked on forward into the natural, I think that actually he might have found some better success. It's obviously very difficult to know if there's going to be more Templar energy or not. But the amount of time it took for him to kill that 3rd base and then reposition on the high ground, it gave Creator all the time he needed to get all those extra storms out, so that way he could actually defend later on. But of course, it's a very difficult call to make in the moment for Percival. You really can't. It's hard to just bypass the 3rd base. I mean, this is this game is. There's really not much else here. This is going to be one final attempt from Percival, basically. But once a couple more of these storms land, this is going to be all she wrote. We even have this pylon up here. We could just go for a zealot flank on this army as well if we wanted to. Or just wait for them to come right over here. Whoop! Oh, Percy. Young Percy. Oh, nice little target fire on those 2 Templar, but there are just so many zealots. I don't even think you need the storms at this point. That's going to be a GG. Creator with a 3-0 qualifying for the RSL Season 2. Happy to have a new face joining on into the 2nd season. So that'll be very nice to see him there. Also going to be joining SOS and Estrella from the NA qualifiers that happened earlier today. Estrella also a newcomer to the event, so it's going to be nice to see him joining as well as our next match, by the way. Oh, I didn't update my title. Lol. Dude, I'm so bad at remembering to update my titles when we switch matches. Yeah, we're going to be having Nightmare versus none other than Maru as our next match. It's going to be great. The debut of Maru in the RSL qualifiers. So yeah, we're just waiting for that lobby to get on set up. And then we'll be jumping right on into it. Well, okay, there we go. I was going to say. I feel like they had all the time in the world to get this lobby prepared before that match ended, but now we are finally here. So we get to see a little bit more of Maru's form, as of course he was not really playing in many tournaments previous to EWC, and then once we did see him in EWC, we saw some interesting matches from him. Of course, the first match playing against Trigger was a bit lopsided. I think we all expect Maru to just kind of do Maru things with that. Then had an absolute banger of a series versus Raynor. Although, be it with the bugged Cyclones, still proving that he is able to take it up with the best. But then, unfortunately, kind of losing it out against Cure. I think it was like 1-3 in the round of 8. So we did see one of each of his matchups. And, yeah, I mean, he looked pretty good. We'll see what he's got in store here for the RSL qualifiers. Really shouldn't have much of a problem, I would think, against Nightmare. Someone who, like I was saying earlier, even said that he was done with SE2 and was just playing Deadlock. And now he's back because any pro player that announces that they're retiring never actually retires. So I think we're all expecting Maru to be able to come away with this one. And that is going to be the man in the top left-hand side playing for Team Vitality onside. It is the man, the GOAT of Korean Terrans and pretty much every Terran. It is Maru. On the bottom right-hand side, it is a pretty cool Protoss player who at one point in time brought out one of the sickest builds of all time, which was the Proxy Dark Shrine Blink DT Charge Lot All In. It is Nightmare. God, that build was so flippin' fun. That was... Doing that build on ladder was just... It was like Protoss incarnate. It was like literally just the most amazing thing ever. You just do a DT drop, and then you follow it up with a freaking Blink DT all in. Like, you just blink over their wall, just insta-snipe all their stuff, and it's just over. It's like, oh my god, it felt incredible. Oh, did Deadlock get abandoned by Valve? I thought it was going to be like... Yeah, I was so curious about that because, like, it was so hyped up. And, like, so many big streamers were playing it and everything. And then I just, like, never heard about it again after the first, like, month. Which is wild because usually when you have a game that big with a company that... you know, that well known, generally it's gonna go somewhere. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't really like the game that much, to be honest. It was kind of cool at first, but then, like, I don't know why, but for some reason, I just had, like, I knew it was gonna be like an FPS MOBA, like, hybrid or whatever, but like for some reason, when I was thinking that, I thought the FPS side of it would mean that the games themselves would last, like, shorter than a normal MOBA. Because generally, like, if you play, like, an FPS, it's, like, they're usually kind of shorter matches. It's like, you think of, like, Call of Duty or whatever, it's, like, you know, like a 10-minute, 15-minute match. I mean, I guess, like, you know, like, tact shooters like CS and Valorant, that's a little bit different, but that's a totally different thing in general. But anyways, I don't know. For some reason, I thought the games would be shorter. But then when I started playing it, it just ended up being just these massive 40, 50-minute games every time. I was like, God, what the hell? I don't want to play this. Like, this is the reason I stopped playing MOBAs. Like, these games just take an eternity to finish. You have no idea when it's going to suddenly end. It's like just it suddenly swings out of nowhere and you just suddenly die. Your whole team gets aced and you're just like, well, I guess we lose. Alright, Nightmare's just going to be doing basically exactly what he was doing against Percival. Wait, what? No, it was Creator versus Percival. Who did Nightmare beat? Ryung. Too many PVTs today, Jesus. So we're going to be doing basically the same thing he was doing against Ryung. It's going to be a singular Widowmine drop coming out of Maru here. Into some 3 racks follow-up like normal. What can this singular Widowmine drop do, I wonder? Here it does come on into the natural. Nightmare preparing for it in the main. Doesn't have blink done yet, so he won't be able to blink down until it is finished. One probe will get killed, and then we're just going to walk right on home. So yeah, honestly, great reactions from all the Protosses so far to be able to deny these Widowmine drops from doing any damage. The Hellion drops is another thing, though. Oh my god, is he going to be able to catch it? Uh-oh, 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 uh-oh. Oh my god, the boost just barely not off cooldown. Oh my god, an excellent catch from Nightmare to be able to chase that down. Very nicely done. That's a huge pickoff, especially because Maru's going for a Marine Tank SCV pull with this. Having a medevac with this is, or not having a medevac with this is so unfortunate. Trying to kill off this tank, but the SCVs, of course, will repair that up, so Maru not going to just let that get killed off too easily. This force is still very threatening, though, because Nightmare is going for the fast Storm, and so there's still that opportunity, that window of time where he's not going to have Storm finished and just generally have a few less units. But he's doing a very good job of microing back, trying to stall this push as long as possible. But it will eventually find its way into the natural. Immortal almost done here. Need that 100% to be able to defend against this. First battery was far forward to be able to supply some amount of anchoring in a forward position, but just not really enough. Forward blink to try and get past all the units. Focuses down the tank and the Banshee. This is right when Maru actually unsieged his other tank as well, so that got no return fire. Very nice timing from Nightmare on that, and now we'll wrap around to the back to be able to try kill those tanks off as well, but unfortunately overstepping it. Wasn't expecting all the Marines from the high ground to run away as well to help deal with that. And now everything starts to crumble for Nightmare. He had such a good opening to defending the push, but that one little misstep suddenly makes it snowball right into Maru's favor. And this is going to now be really difficult for him to defend against, although it is just Marines and a very low HP Banshee at this point with no upgrades. So technically he can just kind of micro around this. These Marines will just kind of die eventually, but the question is, can he get any more Stalkers out? He's got all of his gateways. He's chrono boosting the warp gates as well to try and get as many Stalkers as possible. One more tank coming in is going to be super critical for Maru to continue to lock down this position. Charge is finished as well, so we will try to get those into the fray. Nice target fire onto the Stalkers with the Banshee and the tank, though, to make sure that Banshee can stay alive. Stutter stepping the Marines against the Zealots is excellent as well. This is going to be, I think, all she wrote for Nightmare, as Maru is even remaking SCVs at this point, realizing that he's got a full advantage in this game. Nightmare is bringing his probes back down to mine a little bit more, and then I'm assuming eventually just pull them to try and... Nope, he's just going to leave the game. GG! Maru with a very nice Game 1 victory. Why won't Hero be in the RSL? He did not accept his round of 8 invite. That's all. All the round of 8 players from season 1 are asked if they would like to participate into season number 2. Oops. Sorry, creator. I accidentally invited him to a party. Oh my god, that made me miss the game. That's just ridiculous. No way, I misclicked because, oh, that's so dumb. Oh, you're trolling me. That's hilarious. The fucking, I misclicked. Oh, it's creators randomly came online right before Mario put the lobby link. And then it bumped it up, and then I clicked the invite to party button instead of the other one. Oh my god. That's so troll. Alright. I will take a peep over at the Cranky Duckling stream, as I'm sure they don't mind. But unfortunately, that doesn't mean it's at 720p because I live in Korea. Oh, Mara's doing a proxy Rex as well. Oh, I got scouted! Oh no, he's going in for an eBay block. Never mind. Oh no, he is going for a proxy of some sort. He sent out another SCV. Wait, what the hell is he doing? He's gonna eBay block and proxy racks? Whoa. Alright, Maru. That's so stupid, dude. I can't. Oh, that's so dumb. Oh, he's not even eBay blocking. He's just scouting? What the hell is he doing with this thing? Oh my god, Nightmare is proxy gating too. So he has no idea that Maru's actually gone for a proxy. What is this game? I agree. What in the world is Maru? Does Maru realize? Because he went into the main base, did he? Or did he not? No, he did. Yeah, he comes back, he finds it. When do you see a moment where there's two players proxying and the Terran is the one that actually finds the proxy first?
Fuck you, Gemini.
Thank you,
This
Dine
is
Common.
my kind of game.
Thank you, Dine Common, for your 26 months of sub. Sorry, I accidentally missed the lobby link because I misclicked and clicked an invited creator to a party when he came online instead of joined the lobby. So now we're looking at the Cranky Duckling stream for this second game. Because pro gamers literally just yeet the game as fast as possible. They just see people join and they're just like, all right, go, boom. All right, this Proxy Reaper is actually not going to do that much. Oh my god, I almost died too. That would have been wild. But now we have the Proxy Gateway coming into effect. Bunker was able to be made. And that Barracks has got to hightail it back home. As there's zero production in the main right now for Maru. He's trying to get this tech lab up as fast as possible so he can make a Cyclone. And once that Cyclone is built, then he should be feeling pretty okay. Although he's not actually making it. There we go, okay. Alright, Double Reaper going to try to do whatever they can against this Stalker, but they will actually come on back. Where are the rest of the units for Nightmare? I feel like he's not sending all of his stuff across the map, even though he did just see the Double Reaper. Just maybe afraid that there's still one somewhere on the map going to be trying to kill off his probes. Now does have that extra unit coming across. Gets the scout, sees that there's everything being made in the main base as well. Yeah, it might actually just be... Holy crap, you're right. Yeah, he might just go for a straight-up one-base all-in here. Maru just responding to the proxy. Obviously, it looks like Nightmare was going to be way more aggressive with the proxy, so he might just be, like, reactively one-base all-inning with this. Expecting... He was maybe expecting Nightmare to be more aggressive with the actual proxy, but now that it's not actually really done that much, he's kind of now just gonna be one base all inning anyways. Or is he? He's gonna wall this off with a supply depot for now. I mean, everything looks like he's gonna just go ahead and YOLO across the map with absolutely everything. Double Reaper Cyclone drop. When do you see that? Good lord, that is that is quite a drop. But yeah, Blink will actually still be finished in time for this attack whenever it does come across the map. That's kind of interesting for Nightmare, obviously, considering the fact that this opened up with such a weird style, just a weird opener in general. And yeah, Mario's just gotta send it. He's got his Marines, got his tanks, he's got a Banshee coming on up. Does Nightmare expect this is the question. Will he be able to get any sort of info that this is coming across the map? He's not really got much on the map. Looks like he's sending his Adept across, which is good. He needs some sort of information that this is actually coming. Oh my god, he's gonna miss. He's going around the opposite side. The Adept is actually going all the way down here. Look at this. This is the Adept trying to scout, completely missing the army. Oh my god, it's missing everything. Creator has no idea until, or sorry, Nightmare has no idea this is coming until literally just now cancels that Observer, warps in some extra Stalkers, gets that Immortal started. Oh, this is a very awkward situation now for Nightmare. Whoa, the blink forward is insane to try and catch those tanks off guard, but Maru with the quick fingers loads one of his tanks up before it's sieged. One of them does get killed off as it was getting sieged, of course, but now we will be able to repair this other one with the SCV. He's going to try to target it down his Nightmare. Oh, that's not the play. That's not the play. There's so many Marines in front of it. Oh. Is it still going to be okay, though? I don't think so. No, the Robo's depowered, although we do start it up again, but nothing's even making them. All the units are just caught behind the mineral line. All the probes getting killed before they're even able to help out in the fight. That's got to be that. That is a GG. And now I got to make sure I 100% get into this next game and not accidentally invite pro gamers into parties. Thankfully, that game was pretty short, so we didn't have to worry about the... we didn't have to worry about not being in the game for too long there. It's so funny. God, they really just yeet this game, man. They just send it. All right. Amazingly enough, you guys will love this. Guess what the map is, guys. I'm not gonna show it to you. Oh wait, you can kind of see it in the top left. Shit, I didn't even notice that. Guess what map we're on, guys? Oh my god. Who thought we'd see this today? Because I sure didn't. Guys, look. It's Last Fantasy. Oh my god, we're actually on Last Fantasy. No one vetoed it. Somehow this made it through the vetoes. We are playing Last Fantasy, guys. This is like one of 10 games that this map has been played in professional tournaments. And on the, what is this? This is the right hand, the 3:30 o'clock position. It's Maru. What do I even do? Is it, I guess it should be like this instead. Yeah. And on the bottom 7 o'clock position, it is Nightmare. Scouting in the wrong location first. Is this 4 o'clock? No, because 3 o'clock is right here. This is right here. 4 o'clock is like here. 5, this is, because this is 6, 5, 4, 3. This is like 3:15. Break out the protractor. This is 1. Or sorry, this is 12. 1. This is like 1, 2, 3. 3. It's like 3:15. We get 4, 5, 6. Yeah. It's gonna be a wall off. Oh my god, he's going double Rax Reaper. Holy shit, Maru is based as hell, bro. What the hell? It's the East-ish spawn. I like that. He's got the Eastish spawn with the Southwest spawn. Oh my god, this is a build. Nightmare's gonna proxy again. What the hell, dude? What is this series? North versus True North? That's funny. I think Mara was maybe hoping that his opponent was on the top. But I mean, he's scouting left anyways. Oh, this is so strange, man. Because like, if you're playing against the player top, then you have this easy beeline just from your base to their base into their main. And it's gonna be another proxy gateway from Nightmare. But yeah, it's multiple Reapers coming out from Maru. How many do we got? 3 into a 3rd and 4th barracks after command. Holy, what is this build, Maru? Oh my god. Nightmare is not going to be expecting this. No battery prepared. 1 Reaper very close to dying and will die as the Adept goes right on top of it. Unfortunately, doesn't actually kill that as Mara. I would have figured that he would have at least traded it out, but doesn't quite do so. But they will be able to get into the main base. A couple of probes getting killed off. Doesn't want to lose those Reapers. We'll be able to get away with them for now. But I mean, this is going to be a 4 racks all in. Honestly, I mean, I keep saying it because like everyone's like, oh, SCVs, SCVs. I think he's going to pull SCVs with it, bro. I think he's going to do a 4 racks stim SCV pull all in. And against someone who's just going for a 3 gate? Although he's got no bunker. So there's actually a moment where this does really well because there's a lot of downtime when these barracks had not actually produced anything yet. So at the moment, he doesn't really have all that much. I guess it's going to be fine. Never mind, it's okay. There's a very brief window. There's a very brief window there where the production hadn't quite kicked in yet, but now it's just going to really ramp up. What the? Okay. And yeah, this is going to be actually terrible for Nightmare. You're going to be playing in so many units so fast with such late tech. How are you expected to defend against this? There's the shade into the natural, so that will actually force Maru back. But the question is, do you get out with the Adepts? Looks like you will, actually. Oh my god. I can't believe you got out with 2 of those. But yeah, the blink is going to be super late at this point. He's forced to make a bunch of sentries, but this ramp is huge. Does Maru pull the boys? Supply drop. Nice. Do it, Maru. Pull the boys. Do it! Yes! I knew it. I fucking knew it. So how are these Adepts still alive, bro? They're even gonna get the scout that the SCVs were pulled. God, that's so many batteries. Nightmare's just like, holy shit. He even got double gas during this as well. Oh, his units are so low. The force fields are not perfect either. They just let a whole bunch of the units through. And now the SCVs also can get onto that little side gap as well. Oh my god. Oh my god. Blink does finish in time, surprisingly. But the pylon on the left-hand side is going to get targeted down. That's 2 batteries and the robo depowered. The right side one gets targeted as well. Everything dying, everything falling apart for Nightmare. It looked like for a moment maybe he might actually be able to defend with the blink finishing and the all the units dying pretty quickly, but oh my god, accidentally blinking his stuff from the main base down as well by accident in the main control group. Oh my god, it all falls to pieces. Nightmare dying to a 4 rack stim SCV pull all in after a 2 racks Reaper opener. When do you see that, ladies and gents? Good lord. Maru with a 3-0 as well to qualify himself, excuse me, into the RSL Season 2. Well, well, well. Would you look at that? Would you look at that? All right. a pretty nice conclusion. Despite the fact that it was a quick 3-0 in both of the qualifying series, it still had some pretty entertaining games. I mean, Maru bringing out some ultra aggression, really just not stuff I've really ever seen before with that last one right there. That is a straight 5K build. That's what I play against. All right. That's what the random 4.9 Terran barcode plays against me. Just pulls out the most random crap you've ever seen. But here is Maru, the second or third best Terran in the world. He'll be trying that today as random. Oh my god. Ridiculous. Anyways, that's gonna basically be it. Congratulations to Maru and Creator for making it on into the RSL season number 2. Holy moly. They are going to be joining Estrella and SOS, who were able to qualify from the NA qualifiers earlier today. So that's going to be a nice amount of players to round this out. Then, of course, we're going to have another qualifier. The EU qualifier is going to be happening in a couple days. That's on Tuesday because Uthermal has got his 2v2 tournament that's going on. So we didn't want to overlap with that. So that's going to be happening on Tuesday. So yeah, I'm not going to be streaming that one, obviously, because that is at 2 a.m. in Korea. So that's literally not possible. That's going to be ridiculous to do that. So hopefully we'll be getting some other casters to be doing that one. We're going to be seeing who's going to be down for that. But regardless, you can still find some other people who will be streaming that as well. So yeah. Make sure to follow the RSL stuff. Go look at the Patreon. It's a nice crowdfunded tournament that we're doing here to try and help bring StarCraft back to life. Wow. We don't know what the future holds for StarCraft, so we are trying to be the people that do it themselves. Season 1 was already a great success. We enjoyed it very much, and we're very excited to see what we can do for season number 2. So, yeah, that's all for now. Thank you guys for watching. I'm going to raid somebody up. And, yeah. Hope you guys follow the EU qualifiers. Oh, also, if you're on the Patreon, if you are I think it's a stalker tier or up. I think it's a $25 tier or up. You can vote as well. So we're going to be having the player vote soon. So 4 players are going to be voted in from the Patreon voters. So you specifically will be able to vote for who you want to see in the tournament, which is very cool. So like last season, we got Scarlet and SOS joining from that, which was very fun. This time SOS qualified himself, so you won't be able to vote for him, but you'll see him anyways. But yeah, you'll still be able to vote for some of the players to join on in, so that's your direct feedback, which is really cool. You'll also be able to vote on some maps and whatnot. So yeah, that's a really good point to join the Patreon for. And so that's also going to help round out our overall player pool after these qualifiers are done. So make sure you watch the EU one happening in a few days, and then also make sure to sign up to the Patreon so that way you can vote for whoever you want to see join in and round out that awesome player pool that's getting built up for so far. Anyways, that will be that. I will be calling it there. Thank you all for watching. It's been very nice to have you guys here to watch me cast these games. And I look forward to seeing you all in the RSL Season 2 actual main broadcasts. Bop, bop, bop. Cool. Let's see. Who is live that I can raid? I need to go eat food because I'm hungry. Loco? What? Loco's streaming Stormgate? Whoa. Nah.
Intelligent. Why would it help us?
God.
It's not easy to explain, but the sense I get is that it doesn't care how it's filled or recharged as long as it is.
That's not exactly reassuring. We have no idea if this thing will work.
I will eventually play that. I'm very curious what the campaign feels like. Anyways, I will see you guys later. Thank you guys for watching. Bye-bye. Whoa.